Okay, for number 10, this is also again in that standard form, except it's not written in the correct order, so I would reverse it. Your a is supposed to be first with the squared. Here's our squared. Remember, you always take the sign, so since this is negative, you need to keep it negative, so we're going to write negative 2x squared. Next is the single x, so that's going to be the negative 18x squared. And then this 72 is positive, so we're going to keep it positive, okay? Now, our a here is actually not equal to 1. So when it's not equal to 1, that's when we're going to do the slide. Divide, simplify, and then bottoms up, okay? Before you do that, you always want to factor out what they share. So there are 3 parts here. Remember, pluses and minuses separate your parts. So we have this part, and this part. They can all be divided by 2, okay? Essentially, we're just looking for the greatest common multiple. Because this is negative, I'm going to go ahead and factor out a negative 2. So I'm going to factor out a negative 2 and then see what that leaves me with. So negative 2 divided by negative 2 is a positive 1, and we still have x squared. Negative 18 divided by negative 2 gives me a positive 9. We keep the x. And then plus, if we divide this by 2, right, we do our little thing. So we get 3, 6 leaves us with the 12, and a 6. Okay, I messed up. So does anyone see what I did wrong? I don't know where my stick is. Oh, here it is. So we factored out a negative 2, so this would actually be negative 36, okay? So now we're just going to keep pulling this negative 2 down along for the ride, and now our a is actually 1. So when your a is 1, you can regularly factor, remember, just like we did on the one previously before. So I'm going to leave that negative 2 on the outside. I'm going to do my x and my x, and I want to know what adds to give me positive 9, because you always take the sign, and what multiplies to give me negative 36. If you don't know, you make a multiplication chart with the multiplication number. Because we're multiplying to get a negative, that means one of them has to be negative and one of them has to be positive. We look at the sign of this one, and that is going to be the sign for the bigger one. So because this is positive, the bigger numbers will be positive. So we have 1 and 36. 36 is bigger, so that's positive, which means this one's negative. We have 2 and 18, which means this one's negative. And we have 3 and 12. This one's negative. And there it is. These two numbers will add to give you 9. So negative 3 and positive 12. So this entire thing is the answer. Positive 12.